know it's possible to store several or multiple pieces of data in just one variable. Yes, welcome to the world of arrays. Arrays allow you to store several multiple of data in just one place or in just a variable. They start with square brackets and separated with a comma. Let's check it out practically. Alright, so we said arrays allow you to store multiple or several pieces of data or similar data types in one place. Okay, so let's have this practically. So using JavaScript codes, let's first declare a variable. Okay, so to declare a variable in JavaScript we use var. Okay, so the var keyword, which is going to declare var. So var. Okay, so var, so let's say now okay, so let's name our variable. Okay, so let's make it, so now we want to know or we want to give the names of students in form1 class. Okay, so let's name our variable form1 students. Okay, so form1 students. So form1 students. Okay, so form1 students. And then all right, so now we want to list, or we want to mention all form1 students. So in this case, now in this case it's not one student, it's two or more students. So this makes arrays very useful. Okay, so now because we are mentioning two or more students or plenty students, we would want to introduce an array. Okay, so this is how we are going to write the array. So form1 student, so let's mention your names. Okay, so arrays, so this is how we write an array. So these form of brackets, and then we fix in a comma. Okay, so let's type in the names of students in form1 class or form1 students. So first, so don't forget to bring the quotation marks. Okay, the quotation marks, because we are writing in strings or we are doing it in words, we should bring the quotation marks. Okay, to tell the computer this is in words, or this is a different data type. Okay, so let's have the names. Okay, so let's say name number one, student number one, we have a boy named Ayeyi, and then so Ayeyi. Okay, and then we move to the next one. Okay, so don't forget to bring your quotation marks. Okay, so next we have Afram. Okay, Afram, and then oh come on, and then another comma, and then we have car. Okay, so we have car, and then another comma, and then we have another student named Hebet, and then comma, we have another student named, so we keep mentioning the names. Okay, another student name, so Cornelius. Okay, so Cornelius, and then we have another student also named so Essie. So we are going to keep right, but don't forget to bring the quotation marks. Okay, so we have Essie, and then plenty. Okay, so we pause here. Okay, and then let's move to, so we can end with a semicolon. Okay, so the semicolon will tell the computer we've ended with one statement. Okay, so let's move to and so let's say we want to mention students in form2 class 2. Okay, so var, so form2 students, okay, form2 students, so it's equals to, so oh come on, so form2 students. Okay, so comma, now let's for our form2 students. Okay, so we have a nest, and then the next one we have Shirley. Okay, don't forget to bring the quotation marks. Okay, don't forget to bring the quotation marks, else we are going to run in errors. And then we have Lydia, and then Okay, we have Francis. All right, so this is what we've done. So we've stored the names of Form 1 students. Okay, so we've stored all these names, okay, in one. We've stored all these names in one variable, which is Form 1 students. Okay, or we can also replace Form 1 students with X. Okay, it can be any word. Okay, so meaning arrays makes it possible, okay, to store plenty information, okay, or plenty data in one variable. Okay, so we are storing plenty information in one variable. That is the use of an array. Okay, when we come to Form 2 students, okay, so we have all these students, okay, Ernest, Shelley, Lydia, Francis. So we've stored all these names in Form 2 students, so in the variable name Form 2 students. So anytime the computer, so or anywhere the computer says Form 1 students, it's going to assume, or it will result, or it's going to print IAE, Afram, Carl, Herbert, Cornelius, Essie. Anytime the computer sees Form 2 students anywhere, it's going to print Ernest, Shelley, Lydia, and then Francis. Okay, so this is the use of arrays. Okay, so let's print and then let's see. Okay, so let's print. All right, so to print, we know it's console.log. Okay, so it's console.log. So let's say, so we are console.log in so let's print Form 1 students. So let's type Form 1 students. Okay, Form 1 students. Okay, so make sure you don't miss any word. If you miss one word, or if you don't hit in the right variable, you end up in errors. Okay, so let's print. Okay, let's see, let's click the play, and then so we have the names here: Ayayi, Afram, Carl, Herbert, Cornelius, and then Essie. Okay, so let's be quick, and then let's also print Form 2 students. So console.log Form 2 students. So Form 2 students. So Form 2 students. So let's see what the computer has. All right, so Form 2, we have Ernest, Shelley, Lydia, and then Frances. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. Okay, so we printed this, the Form 1 students first. Okay, so anytime, so when the computer saw Form 1 students, so when we told the computer to print Form 1 student, variable Form 1 student, it assumed it's IAE, Afram, Carl, Herbert, and then Cornelius, because these are the names we stored in Form 1 students, okay, which is a variable. And then the same thing for the Form 2 students. All right, next will be on argument. Now, before we talk about what a parameter is, let's talk about function. What is a function? A function allows you to create reusable codes. Introducing a function will make it possible for a set of codes to run anytime you call the name of the function. Functions also make it easy to manipulate variables. Right. So earlier we discussed functions allows us to create reusable codes for the purpose of we calling it anytime we want. Okay. So now let's do it practical. So to write a function, we start with the keyword function, and then beside it we attach the function name, and then we introduce a parenthesis, or what we call a round bracket, and then we introduce an open curly bracket. We insert our codes, or we insert our set of instructions, and then we close it with an ending curly bracket. All right, so let's see what we mean, or let's do it in the playground. Okay, all right, so the word function, so we're going to type the word function. So function. Okay, so function, and then we add the function name. Okay, so you name it, or you give it any name you want to give it. Okay, so let's call it game. Okay, all right, and then just beside it again we add a round bracket, or the parentheses. Okay, so this is what we call the parentheses. This is what we call the parentheses. Okay, so this is what we call the parentheses, or round bracket. Okay, all right, so after you introduce the parentheses, we then introduce a curly bracket. So this is the curly bracket. Okay, so we introduce a closing curly bracket, and then a closed curly bracket. Now in it, we insert our set of instructions or our set of codes, which will be reusable or which will run anytime we call that's the name of the function, which is game. All right, so to explain, we have the name function. Okay, so we set up the name function, we give the function name. Okay, we write the function name. Okay, it can be any name. Okay, it can be new, it can be right, it can be any name. Okay, and then we introduce a parentheses. Okay, this is the parentheses, what we call the round bracket, and then we introduce a curly bracket. Okay, an open one, and then a closed curly bracket. All right, let's continue. All right, so we have a function on board. Now let's write or let's input some codes which will be reusable, okay, in our function. Okay, so in our function, let's insert some codes. Okay, so let's make it, or let's print out hello world. So console dot log hello world. Okay, so hello world. Or let's make it hello class. Okay, hello class of 20. Okay, let's make it hello class. Okay, so all right, now what we will do next is we will call out this function game. Okay, so let's look at how it will be like. Now in our function, we have placed in a code which would print out hello class. Okay, so we want to call the name of the function. Okay, but when we hit on play, okay, we actually get nothing out. Okay, when we hit on play, we get no answer. Okay, so let's call the name function and then let's have the result. So we named it game. Okay, so we will just write game. Okay, game with the parentheses. Okay, so writing this one would run whatever codes is in the function. Okay, so let's run this now. So if you want to run this, is you just hit on the play button. Okay, the play button. Okay, so let's hit on it. All right, now we have something like hello class. Okay, so this is our output, hello class. Okay, so now we can also write other functions, and then when we call the name of the function, it will run the codes inside the function. Okay, so this is the code we wrote inside the function. Okay, so hope you understand what function is. All right, now let's make it more interesting. Now, what is a parameter? A parameter is an item, or to be more specifically, a parameter is a variable found in the parentheses of a function. These parameters act like variables. Let's check it out let's make it practically. Alright, so we discussed parameter or parameters are things or variables found in the parentheses of a function. So which is the parentheses of the function. Okay, our function game. So let's locate the parentheses of this function game. Okay, so we know function is a keyword, and then game is a name. Okay, so this is the parentheses. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. This round bracket, okay, is what we refer as the parentheses. Okay, so this round bracket, so anything or any item or any variable found in this parentheses is called a parameter. Okay, so let's assume we write a and then b. Okay, so a and b are called parameters. Okay, all right, so this is another way of writing variables in a function. Okay, so let's look at it that way, another way of writing a variable in a function. Okay, all right, so let's make it interesting. All right, so in our function game, we would want to introduce a variable, okay, or a parameter, a and then b. Okay, so we have a and b in the parentheses of our function game. Okay, the game is the name of our function. Okay, now let's manipulate these variables. All right, so let's assume we want to print a minus b. Okay, so a minus b. Okay, so now we want to manipulate our variables, which we call parameters. Okay, so what we have here is we want to print a minus b. Okay, so we want to print a minus b, a minus b. Now, before we can print a minus b, we have to assign some characters, or we have to assign some numbers to a and then another number to b. Now, assigning these characters or these numbers to a and b will lead us to another relating term called argument. Let's look at what an argument is. What is an argument? Shortly, an argument is an item or things just assigned to a parameter. Let's check it out practically. We know an argument is an item assigned to a parameter. Let's assign numbers to a and then b, which is a parameter. Okay, so in the brackets we have here. Okay, so we are going to assign numbers to our parameter a and then b. All right, so the first one will go for a and then the second one will go for b. So let's assume a is 10 and then b is 7. So let's run this and then let's see what it will result. Okay, so just tap on the run. Okay, the play button, just tap on the run. So hit on run and then we have our answer to be 3. Okay, so 3 is our answer. Now this is what we did. So we assigned 10 to, which is an argument, we assign 10 to a. Okay, so 10 to a and then 7, we assign 7 to our variable, to our parameter b. This is what we call an argument. So we've talked about so many terms up to this point, from the introduction of programming to variables, from arrays to functions, from parameters to arguments, and up to what we have now. If you lost us or if you lost one of the terms, just visit our channel at Code Reset, either YouTube or Facebook, and then get one of the videos or our videos. Make sure you subscribe and then let's move to the big event. Okay, so now we are moving to the making of the Too Sure game. All right, so let's go and then let's make the game.